Hello, today we talk about my philosophy of happiness, and one of the most important things that I think to have a happy life is a security as a person. When a person does an activity, there is almost always fear of failure. Another fear that the person usually has is fear of what people say about us or make fun. And that is why I mentioned safety or security is a basis for happiness. Sam is a person who gives to show that only important thing is what we believe and how we want to see life to be happy. If we focus on a negative, we will go wrong with that we do. But if we focus on a positive, we will attract good things. If we have a good attitude and even if things go wrong, we focus on a positive things, we will happy like real people. Sam mentioned three aspects of his philosophy of happiness, and I totally agree with him. The first is be okay with what we ultimate can do because there is so much we can do. I think it's very true that we often complain or get angry with ourselves about something that make us difficult to do or that we can't not do, and at that point we forget everything we can do. The great things we can do, we are very cruel to ourselves. Many people consider themselves incapable of doing something when they have not even tried to know whether they really can or cannot. The second aspect that Sam mentioned is surround yourself with people you want to be around. We come to a point where we need the people who want us to help us move forward. When we are surrounded by good people, we support us, encourage us, and help us to move forward. We are able to accomplish the things. The positivism and tranquility that people transmit to us help us to be at peace with ourselves. But when we are with negative people who don't bring anything good to our life, we feel stressed, tired, and without encouragement. Because we perceive negative, then we became a negative people. That is why it is important to be surrounded by people who we want to be and people who contribute positivism to our life. The last aspect is keeping moving forward. We must continue to go ahead. If something goes wrong, we must not stay stuck. We continue to try it until it goes well. We must not keep thinking about the past, how things would have been if we had done in differently way. As Sans mentioned, never miss a party. Because if you think a party can give you happiness, you have to go, you can go because it's your happiness. You know how you can feel good. And I think Sam is an example because regardless of his illness, he's happy. And it is because he has no complex. He feels no less person than other because of his illness. On the contrary, he feels the same. And for me, he is the same because he can do activities like any healthy people. And he is a very intelligent boy and fights for his dream. As we could see in the video, he never gives up. It was difficult to be part of a musical band and to play the instrument he wanted. He solved the way to make it easier for him to play the instrument. He struggled to fulfill his dream. That is what really matters. Um, he To fight and to feel satisfied when what is deserved is achieved. Many times, a healthy person at the first time that he can not do something is given for overdone and says, "Oh, I can't. I will never do again. I don't do it again, or I don't want to do again because I failed the first time and the second time I will failed. And I think that is not good because maybe we say I can without trying again, and that's about um, a custom or about a bad things that we have as a person. In my view, people who have the most difficulty in carrying out activities, for example, a person with disabilities or the ones who struggle the most to fulfill their goals or dreams, and people who have more opportunities or greatest physical capabilities to achieve it. At the first, we give ourselves by being overcome rather than continuing to try and show ourselves that we can't. For example, Sam tried to do all the things that he can to be part of the musical band. But for example, in my case, I want to be part of musical band, but I a shy person, and I didn't do because I have shy, and I think that is bad, and I know there are many people who are like that, and I think we have to change that. That is why people with some diseases feel happier with themselves than struggle for improve. There are people who are healthy and unhappy that they stay stagnant in the little they achieve, not fighting for what they want. And I have to clarify that is not all the people, because I say that for a people that I know, but I don't know if all the people are like that. And I have to clarify that because I don't want to generalizing the the thing that I say. There are also people who consider money to the money is happiness, and I think it is grown uh, because we can see how for some happiness is to achieve dreams, be surrounded by people who are worth it and always go ahead. um, in my point of view, money is a contribution because it is that a contribution. Money buys the material, and often sometimes material give us happiness. I know. For example, if I buy a cell phone, I'm happy because I have a new cell phone. But are not happy that they do not have family or friends who are sincere. For example, some people thinks oh, I have all the money that I can have, but I'm sad. But it's what? Why? Because they are surrounded by people who just are interested in her money and his money. And I think it is very sad for some people um because they are for money. They are there for money. They are with them for money. They don't really feel love. And people with low economic resources are happy that although they have little support, they are encouraged to move forward, and that is why really gives happiness. I think if we have little things, but we feel I'm unfortunately because I have that, because I can give that for the people who need it. I think we feel good, but if we have old and we don't have anybody uh, to to say to us, hey, you can't, you can do that, you can like an encouraged person with us. I think money is nothing, and I think the little things can make happy or can make us happy because we have to look like a happy things.